try to bend and they try to break me by design. I am the nightmare that will haunt you in the night. If that's one that you want, then I'm ready to play. And the world's gonna know my name. Know my name. Know my name. Know my. Everywhere that I go, every failure I fall, every crack in my bones, I'm untouchable. Everywhere that I go, every failure I fall, every crack in my bones, I'm untouchable.
All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to a test run for the Undefeated Sports Network's first wrestling show into the Wrestleverse. I am going to host tonight. Some of you have seen me all around USN. I'm Ace. The man to my right is my boy Alex, Red Beard.
How we doing, guys? Come on.
And we're gonna go through Monday Night Raw just to kind of get his feet wet. This is his first time live, so you guys be a little more patient with the man. Alex, so did you you watched Monday Night Raw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did
good.
you?
At least. Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
At least we watched it before
we're talking about it.
Before we're talking about it. Yeah.
Wow.
So recap a little bit, right? The opening segment was what Cody Rhodes came out and addressed Brock Lesnar, and then Finn came out to offer the Judgment Day's assistance versus Brock, right? And it was a little weird to me. I'm
kind of felt like he was begging him.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We talked about this on the WrestleMania pre-show a little bit. You weren't on yet with us, but we were talking a little bit about how the Judgment Day, I thought WrestleMania was going to be a big step forward for them. You had the opportunity with Edge and Finn, Dom versus Ray, and then obviously Rhea and Charlotte. One of those matches went the way that I thought it would go, and that was the Rhea-Charlotte match. The other two, I didn't expect. I didn't expect Demon Finn to lose, and I did not expect Ray to beat Dom kind of clean. I know Bad Bunny, interfered to help, but if he was going to win, if Ray was going to win, it was going to have to make Dom not look bad. It was going to have to be from some outside interference, which, yeah, that happened, but whatever. So then fast forward a couple weeks, now we're to this point where like the Judgment Day has basically lost quite a bit. Except for Damian Priest. That dude's out here just destroying LWO left and right, and like he's the only thing really winning right now.
Is he making a believer out of you again?
I don't know, man. Like his mic work is so bad to me that like it's hard to buy him as a legit like mouthpiece. I think it's weird that the Judgment Day would come out and want Cody to be a member. I know it was probably just setting up for the match that night, but
one night
what they're doing with Cody, like I'd like your thoughts on what you think they're doing with Cody Rhodes right now.
I don't think they know what they're doing. I actually seen something on the TikTok. It was an MJF interview, and he said something about maybe fighting the Rhodes again in 2024 coming up here. Yeah, who knows, man? I don't know if they know what they're doing with them anymore. And like,
I was a firm believer that I wasn't for Cody winning the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but to keep him here, how are you not going to keep him here now? You built him up so hard for this.
I mean, you did, but at the end of the day, like I don't know. I've always been somebody who thought Cody Rhodes was a little overrated, personally. Dude couldn't make it the first time around in the company, and then fucking goes and leaves, changes his whole look, builds himself back up, which, I mean, I get it. But then, like, he's not even liked in the new brand that he created. You know what I mean? Like the fans weren't feeling him there. They wanted him to go heel so badly. And it just never. Well, I mean, he definitely can't.
Like, he does not have a heel side to him, I don't think. I think they tried that at one time and it failed miserably. Or maybe you can consider when he was with Legacy that he was heel. And that's why he hasn't ever gone back.
So, I mean, early Cody is definitely far cry from present day Cody. You know, he was dashing, he was Legacy, then he was Stardust, then he left, now he's back. He put on some good matches with Rollins, but overall, I just don't buy him long term, right? So you look at the way that wrestling fans are, and you know, I'll say this till the day I die. Nobody hates wrestling more than wrestling fans, it seems like, right? Like they're never happy. They're always bitching about something, myself included, right?
Yeah, but for sure.
I feel like if they give Cody the title, all that's going to do is turn everybody that's rooting for him against him. It happened with Seth, right? Rollins went out, beat Brock Lesnar, won the title, and then all of a sudden, everybody loved him on that chase to get the title.
Right.
So he won it. They were all against him. That's why I think Roman has been so successful, because like he stayed a bad guy the whole time, right? So like he won the title and he's just been the bad guy in the company. And for me, if Cody, well, now because of the draft that's coming up, it's really going to be interesting to see what the WWE is going to do in terms of like what brand is going to be Roman's brand. And then I feel like whatever brand Roman is on
SmackDown,
I think he's going to be Raw.
No way.
But that's just because I feel like Raw never needs a champion, because they just don't. They haven't had one. But I do think that whatever brand Roman's on, I think Rollins goes to the opposite brand.
Yeah.
Because they unveiled that new, World Heavyweight Championship, which is, it's really, I liked the design. I thought it was cool that they kept it similar to the old school design. But what are your thoughts on that?
The new championship?
Mm-hmm.
The design's overall okay, but like, I don't know. I like the classic rubies. That one was my favorite.
I think it's cool that they brought it back because of just how much history was with that title, all the way back to WCW and all that stuff. So I think it's cool that they brought it back, that they're hoping to make it as prestigious as the Universal Heavyweight Championship. It does seem a little bit like a consolation prize, right? Like nobody could beat Roman, so we'll just give them this secondary title. But hopefully they're able to build it up properly. I know that nobody's going to win it until Night of Champions on the 27th of May. But the build up to that, I think, will be interesting on how they go about finding the participants for the match. Typical WWE, I would say they probably do like one of those tournaments. Like these guys will fight these guys, and then the next week it'll be these guys
type thing.
Right.
No,
and
not what they should do.
I agree. I think
big old ladder match, fatal 5-way.
Fatal 5. I don't know, man.
Yeah, bro. You want to hear who it is?
Yeah. Go.
Knight.
Okay.
Rhodes.
Okay.
Rollins.
Okay.
Austin.
Okay.
Finn. Maybe KO. Just to throw him a bone because Bro's had his chances against Roman and he's gotten screwed over out of all of them.
I'm just trying to think of what I'm like. When you build up a match, right? You want it to be something that the fans are gonna be into and that the fans are gonna want to watch, and that's gonna like captivate them. And I don't know if a 5-man ladder match is kind of the way to go. I just feel it takes away. I just think it takes away from the importance of
seriousness,
focusing on the title. If I had to guess, I would guess for sure one of the participants will be Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised if he won it, to be honest, because
they
I think he's more than deserving of it.
right.
But
I mean, you seen the reaction from Chicago.
right, well, yeah, but they were also in Chicago because
Yeah,
Rollins is a huge Chicago sports guy, so he plays into that to the crowd and all that stuff. But overall, I mean, he's just there. Like people love him everywhere he goes. So he would be one. And then if I had to think of somebody that he would face, I think it really depends on the draft. But if I had to guess, I would guess they keep Rhodes and Reigns on the same show because they're going to build up for next year's WrestleMania. So Rollins, I mean, you're looking at guys like Finn. I think that would be a great one because they were the first two that fought for the Universal title, and Finn won that, but then got injured in that same match. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think the Judgment Day goes to SmackDown. I hope they don't break them up. That would be stupid. I think they're one of the hotter teams right now.
Yeah, we got the draft coming up here, man.
Yep. It's going to be interesting.
Getting off the recap a little bit. Let's go look at the future.
I mean, the future is interesting because it's reported, right, that this is going to be the change now. Triple H is going to take control and he's going to run with it, and that's the new age of the WWE. And if that's true, I'm very interested to see exactly what he has planned, because they say that this whole draft is his rebranding of both the rosters, that he's going to put people on these rosters and build those rosters up, which is smart, I think. But you also, I think, have to win the trust back of the fans after this whole buyout, and then Vince McMahon's back and now he's not back. I heard some rumors, obviously, that they were talking about splitting up the Street Profits, which I think is
dumb. I mean, okay, that was a little harsh, but like,
I think it's dumb just because I think people still like them. I always think it's weird when they break up tag teams when fans are still into it, and like what they did, like they never broke up the New Day, right? They wanted to.
Yeah, they did. They split them up a couple times.
Well, they split them up, but they never like broke them up. Like there was never the one person turned on the other person, and at the end of the day, you can always go back to that because it's worked for such a long time. I think you're going to see a few women change brands. I think Rhea goes to SmackDown, obviously, because she's the champion.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if LWO makes their way to Monday Night Raw. I think Alexa probably goes, if she's even going to be in the cards, I think she goes to SmackDown. I'm not 100% sure on where
storyline right there.
Yeah, I'm
Will Miss Bliss versus Rhea Ripley.
I mean, that would be cool, but I'm just so confused on
You'd
like
be so happy
Wyatt
about
thing,
that,
too.
wouldn't you?
I mean, I would, but I'd be just confused on
how it got there.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing with Alexa, right, is they built it up and then all of a sudden it was just done. Like that was that. They had one little match, and then at the end of the match there was the tease with Wyatt, and then both of them disappeared. And right. I think it's gonna be difficult to build that back up at this point, because I feel like everybody's just gonna expect Wyatt to just not succeed.
Right.
I feel like, yeah, I'm all for a slow build, but this has been a slow build.
2 years?
Pretty much, since he started coming back, almost 2 years.
Do you consider the point where Bliss was doing her little Sister Abigail thing part of the build?
No, because it ended, I feel like. Once Bray got released, it ended, and then he came back. Right, and then he came back, and it got really juicy again, but I think it just drags. It's dragged too much. Like, I'm all for long-term story building, but at the end of the day, you got to give a payoff to the people, right? Like,
your level 4 rivalry can only go for so many weeks.
Right, before
it gets stale.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what's the next pay-per-view? Backlash, and you got Rollins and Omos, which is weird to me. Cody and Brock, that's a weird one to me.
So, like, I watch every day, but, like, how did that one even come about? Because it really was not significant enough for me to remember, and then all of a sudden they're just in a match.
Omos and Rollins?
Yeah.
It was literally just like that.
Oh, okay.
like they put it on Twitter, and that was that. That was the match.
Really?
Yep. There was no build other than last Monday, just yesterday when they did the promo. That was it. Which, by the way, was a fire promo from Seth Rollins.
I must have been sleeping.
It was, I don't know. I just think anybody who goes against him is automatically gonna be better because he makes them better.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see though. Other than the draft, what are your thoughts on the whole current situation with Backlash coming up, the new title, all that stuff?
So the new title, like I said, I want to see. I don't know. I'd like to see a tournament too, I guess, thinking about it. Give the people that have had the chances, give them another chance to actually prove themselves. You know, Rollins, Rhodes, Balor, KO. I mean, you could throw Sammy in there, but that wouldn't really go because he needs to go against Rollins if he does anything. Austin Theory to try to boost him some more. Maybe have him lose the U.S. title because they're bringing out this bigger title.
I feel like that's kind of why they did the triple threat for the U.S. title, is now Bronson Reed can beat Lashley instead of beating Theory, and it still gives Theory an in for...
So why do you think Bronson's taking it? And, like, how do you feel about his promos that have been happening? Because
I don't like Bronson Reed. I think he's just kind of...
Well, I mean, imagine if either one of us went to the WWE, bud.
I mean, so here's the thing about him, right? He's just the typical fucking monster, right? Yeah, like, literally. He'll be hot for 3 months, beat up everybody, and then he'll get beat by somebody, and that'll be the end of him.
And then
that's how it always is.
Bronson Reed sitting with Otis, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's outrageous. By the way, I cannot stand Otis. But, you know, I would run the company a little different if it was me, but it's not me. So,
are they going to really? Do you think Triple H takes over? Do you think they're really going to push this Otis?
No,
because like they're leaving a lot up in the air right now, with him still being able to be with Alpha or go
right. But you haven't seen any of the other dudes from Maximum Male Models. None of them.
That's because they're
right. Exactly, because it's a dumb angle for everybody. It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense.
I think Massey should have stayed Mace and went back to NXT like T-Bar did.
Right.
T-Bar went back and became Dijak.
Right.
Formerly Dijakovic or Damian Dijakovic or whatever.
Yeah, it's odd, man, because like it gets so cluttered when Vince
they try to
gets
push
involved,
a lot of people
right?
too fast.
Right. Well, I don't know if it's too fast. I know NXT has been doing a good job of pushing their top guys for a minute. I'm not a real big NXT fan, you know that. I'm more of a Raw SmackDown guy.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, you like NXT
coming though.
Right, I
like
get
it. if you want to look at the future, how can you not look at, you know, what's going to become?
Right, and I get that, but it's just, to me, it's the thought of, I don't know, when guys like Adam Cole, Bebe, and Kevin Owens and the who else was in it? Samoa Joe,
Kyle O'Reilly, but Kyle O'Reilly's been like injured.
Right, like those guys made NXT because they were kind of known, but then you put them on this stage and they became really known.
Yeah.
And then Vince just like slaughtered the entire NXT roster, and it hasn't been the same for me, man. Like Adam Cole should have been the next dude in WWE, and they let him go. Whether he really didn't want to re-sign or not, I mean, I'm sure Vince didn't help with that situation.
Right.
But overall, he's floundering on AEW also. He's the mid-card guy. He's a guy that he should be a champion by now. But,
yeah, I agree.
I watch
I like
AEW, but I'm not I'm more of a highlight watcher of AEW.
Yeah. I like the MJF promos. That's about it.
He's okay. I think he's
pretty good on the mic.
He tries too hard, to be honest. I think he tries too hard. There's a fine line between being an asshole heel and being like over the top ridiculous, and he's
exactly what he is, and it's awesome.
I don't know about that. I mean, your opinion.
We're all
is your
entitled
opinion.
to our opinion.
Right, that's right. Other than I know we're only really discussing Monday Night Raw right now because this is just our test run. But overall, I thought Raw was a good show. I thought the last segment was weird. That the main event was Priest versus Ray. I feel like we've seen that match multiple times. Maybe not just those two, but between like tag team action and the Judgment Day with him. Like I thought, okay, WrestleMania, that's the end of this. No more Judgment Day Ray.
I'm gonna give Raw last week like 2 stars, dog. Honestly, it was not very memorable. I didn't like a lot of the promos that happened.
I liked the Cody and Finn match. I thought that was good. I just wish that I don't know. I think they're destroying Finn by not letting him win. How are you going to have this dude be the leader of the Judgment Day, whether people want to believe that or not? Oh, no. Finn was the guy they brought in to give that group legitimacy to go forward, right? It wasn't going to be Damian Priest or Dom. Those two aren't the guys. And I mean, yeah, you got Rhea, but she can only go so far in terms of like storyline because WWE will never put women versus men really again, which it's whatever it is. I back when Chyna was around, I thought that some of her matches with Jeff Jarrett and Chris Jericho were pretty good, but I don't know. It's a weird dynamic. I'm a little bummed out about where the Judgment Day is right now. The Bloodline storyline too has kind of fizzled for me.
It's a little bit.
Right, like
getting repetitive.
Yeah, it's the same thing every week where, Sammy's going to try to convince these two that Roman's the bad guy, and eventually we know that's what's going to happen, right? But
not only that, but like, okay, so he's going to fight him. There's going to be a run in here. There's a run in here. Okay, they hit him. Now that's the end of the match in Bloodline's favor.
Maybe. Sup, fellas. Hey, Facebook user, go to YouTube. We can see your comment and your name on our show. We can give you the proper respect other than Facebook user.
How do you do?
But hey, thanks for watching.
Appreciate it.
So the LWO thing too kind of just popped up out of nowhere,
So, still not on the Raw topic, but Chavo put out a tweet. Did you hear this?
I did not. What's the tweet?
Do you want me to go look for it and read it to you, or just tell you what I remember?
Just tell me what you remember. I'm okay with that.
So he said, Ray, I'm pretty sure you're using my name to just bring up some money. Either donate it or donate it to Eddie's children to make the people and me feel more like you're not just trying to prostitute the Guerrero name.
I don't know. That's kind of ridiculous. So I'm a firm believer that if Eddie Guerrero doesn't die, Rey Mysterio does not become who he is.
Right.
I might be an asshole for saying that, but at the end of the day, Ray's push coincided with Eddie's death because it was a top thing, and Ray was his best friend. Put him in the Rumble. He wins the Rumble, goes to WrestleMania, wins a WrestleMania. Blah 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 blah. Now, could he still have been somebody? Yeah, but I think the idea of like what you just said about that tweet, like I get what Chavo's trying to do, but at the end of the day, like all they've done is give Eddie credit every chance I hear. You know what I mean? Like commentary, it's all about, Eddie Guerrero, this is a tribute to him and blah blah blah. Right. Yeah, it is Tarbill.
What's up, bud?
But I just think it's weird. It just kind of got thrown in there because right now factions are hot in the WWE. It never used to be this way.
Apparently. Back
in the day, like 10 years ago, there were no factions. It was just one-on-one, everybody fights.
20 years ago, there was 10 factions.
Right. So obviously, you see the little pattern of repeat, and yeah, it's an up and down thing, but
it's almost like our
I think like you had the success of the Bloodline, which shows that a faction more. Right, but it shows that a faction can handle being at the top. That's why I'm bummed about the Judgment Day, because I felt like those.
Okay, I'm not going to call them the LWO here. I'm going to call them Legado del Fantasma, because that is who they are as a faction.
That's true.
And they're coming up together. You already like Santos.
I do. I like the faction. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool to see a Hispanic faction that's not treated like a joke gimmick. We've talked about this in the past. Yeah. The Mexicools, like, sorry, but to me as a Hispanic male, I think that's a little
racist.
Yeah, racist is a good word, I guess. But like, I can take a joke. I can be funny. It doesn't bother me like that. But it does. It is nice to see them change the narrative of like, okay, cool. Like, here's a group of Hispanic people, men and women, that are able to perform well and be taken seriously, and I think it only helps, the diversity in the company. I think, if you look back to wrestling throughout the years, Hispanic, it all started with Lucha Libre. That's Mexico. And like, that's what built wrestling ultimately.
Right.
And now you're giving a group like this the spotlight, which is cool. I like that. And I do think that the matches that they've had with the Judgment Day have been really, really well done. It's the same thing with the both titles being on Roman, right? Is now you're looking at a bunch of these factions and only the one set of titles on KO and Sammy. So you have all these factions now that theoretically could all fight for this championship, but you're not going to be able to get everybody into it.
They could split them up, and
which I hope they don't.
You hope they don't.
Yeah, I don't think they should split up LWO. I think
no, I'm saying the titles.
Oh, the titles? Yeah, I think they should do that.
Like, they need to go back. One's red and one's blue for a reason.
Yeah, I agree. So, but I don't know how you get to that. I don't know how you get there.
Couldn't tell you either, but like at the same time, as long as they're both fighting on both brands, I guess,
Yeah, I mean, but then you're still limiting the amount of opportunities that some of these guys can have. Because the thing about Triple H, right, is he wants the champions to hold the titles for an extended period of time instead of like okay, here it's 2 months later, I'm going to put the title on somebody else.
Right.
Which, because it makes the title seem a little more prestigious, but
right.
I don't know. It's a weird time. I think a lot more will be shaken out after the draft.
Right. A lot more will be more visible too.
Right. 100%. You'll be able to see, because all these questions that we had about, what faction will be together, where will this go, where will that go, it'll all be figured out by that point, right? And I just think it's hard to break up a faction. Like they're not going to break up the Bloodline. No shot.
No
right?
way.
Do they break up Judgment Day? I don't think so.
So, like, hear me out. Finn has a solo push. Keep Dom and Priest together, for a little while, just to help them both out, and then keep them on SmackDown with Rhea.
Because the Rhea Finn be by himself on Raw.
Yeah, really. Like, Finn doesn't need the Judgment Day. Not saying that Rhea does either, but
I will say this: Finn was floundering, dog, before the Judgment Day. He went back to NXT. That's how little that they pushed this dude on the main roster. This is the biggest push he's had, and now you're going to take him out of that situation that has really revitalized his career and brought people back into, the Finn camp. I don't know. It's tricky. And
so personally, okay, this is a different topic again, man.
That's all right. This is our test run, so we just jump all over. I don't care.
Finn was ruined. The Demon was ruined when he fought Roman Reigns.
Yes.
When somebody pushed that button and made that pop out, that his career was done. Like, maybe not his career, but that character was done. He should have won that match.
He should have won the Edge match, too. Because now you put, again, same situation. The Demon, like, how do you take that seriously anymore?
Just like the Fiend.
Right. It's hard for that character to lose, and you still feel like that character is a top threat when they bring him out. It's the same thing with Wyatt, right? Wyatt was the Fiend, and it was going really well, and then all of a sudden he lost like 4 matches in a row, and it was like, okay, this is pointless. What's the point of having him? So
I do miss him, like, stabbing himself in the hand, popping his shoulder.
I don't know, man. I like Bray, but like I said, I think it just drags too much.
Yeah.
I think it's dragged out way too long. But,
yeah, so do a lot of people. But there are those Bray fans out there that will tell you, hey, man, be patient.
Be patient? Yeah, we've been patient for almost a year since he's been back.
Yeah, but he also, like, left again now. Didn't he get released again?
No, he's just not on. Like, he's just not on. I guess he was hurt, and then there was some, like, creative issues. Nobody really knows. That's the problem. Nobody really knows the real situation, and it's just kind of frustrating, right? Especially for fans of Bray, where you're like, hell yeah, he's finally back, and then it's like, oh, he has one match, and that's kind of it. Man, it's weird. You build up this Uncle Howdy character for what? For nothing. Literally nothing.
For a pitch black match, for him to miss.
For a pitch black match that felt so commercialized because there was Mountain Dew logos everywhere. It was just so obnoxious. How do you take that seriously? It's just like the Hell in a Cell match. We were over at your place watching that match, right? And the moment this freaking guy pulled out a purple kendo stick,
in a purple and red chair.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's theatrics. It's fun. It's it is what it is. But I don't know. I think it's corny as hell when the guy that wore purple out to the ring happens just to pull out a purple weapon.
Right.
And the guy that wore red out to the ring happens to pull out a red weapon. It's like, okay,
and you know what they didn't do?
A lot, because
they didn't go to the top of the cage.
Well, I think Finn's head being busted open really ruined the entire match. But hey,
maybe
14 staples at ringside. I give the man some credit on that one.
Fighting the next week, man.
I mean, there's a lot of people that wouldn't have done that.
Finished that match and then got back in the ring the next day.
Yeah. 2 days. No, it was the next day because that was Sunday, right?
The next day.
Busted ass head and all.
Yeah.
That's why, like, dude, Finn needs a push, a solid push.
I was just going to say, but yet he's not championship material, huh?
I think, I don't know. There's so many guys right now that I feel are deserving of a push, but I'm a realistic fan. I understand that not everybody is going to be the top guy, right? A lot of wrestling fans don't get that. They're like, oh, well, if you're not going to push him, you suck. No, maybe he sucks.
Right.
Maybe like he's just not the guy.
Right.
Like, I feel like they would push Rollins over Finn before I feel like they're trying to push Theory into this different stratosphere, and it's just not working because I don't have any like, oh man, this guy is awesome, or this guy is hated so much. Like, dude, Dom has more heat than Austin Theory, and like that's a pretty bold statement.
So I will tell you also, I worry that me and you are both backing somebody that's going to be the same way, and he's starting to fizzle out already. Who? I'll tell you. I'll give you a hint. All right. He spells a word in all caps. That's yeah.
LA Knight, bro. He's old though. Like that's
is.
the sucky part about him is he's just old. What are you gonna do? Put a championship on a 42-year-old man? Like, come on, no shot. I love him, but at some point we gotta
give him like at least an intercontinental run.
I think he would benefit going to Raw and being somebody that feuds with Austin Theory if Austin Theory stays on Raw.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I love LA Knight, and
let me talk to you.
He helped bring NXT back up. Because it's those little things, right? Like, or let me talk to you that gets the crowd into it.
Yeah, literally.
And, I mean, with Daniel Bryan, it was yes. Something as simple as yes, right.
Literally putting your arms up and down.
Right, and now you got LA Knight doing his thing. I think you remember that SmackDown right before WrestleMania where he lost, and everybody the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah, when he got thrown out,
everybody was pissed. Yeah, everybody was booing. They were pissed. Like, a guy with that kind of a following, that screams mid-card victory to me.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched guys like Dolph Ziggler try to be that next big thing, and it doesn't work. Like, he won the title. It was cool, but then he lost it right away. So what was the point? Give
him the belt for just to say he held it.
I mean, I guess. I'd rather just never hold it. Like, if you're going to make me win it and then make me lose it a couple weeks later, what's the point? If I'm just a transition champion, what's the point?
Right.
I'd rather just be a hell of a mid-card guy. Like The Miz, right? The Miz has been champion twice.
Right.
Nothing memorable, right?
Nope.
No. But if you think about him as the Intercontinental Champion, right. But think about him as the Intercontinental Champion. Fabulous. Fantastic. One of the best Intercontinental Champions.
That I must not have been watching at that time. When I think of a Miz being a champion, it's actually all the way back to ECW. Him and Morrison.
The tag team champions.
Being the tag team
chick magnets, right? That's what... That's such a stupid thing.
The shaman of sexy.
For real, if you would have told me... I remember seeing Miz on The Real World before he even became a wrestler, talking about he wanted to be a wrestler, and that his gimmick was The Miz, Mike The Miz. For him to take that from The Real World and to be where he's at now, kudos to that dude.
It worked. He did it.
It did.
He said he was going to do it, and guess what? He did it.
All right, so before we wrap up, because this is just a test run like we talked about.
It's just the two of us talking.
Yeah.
Hope you all
the draft. The draft. First pick is Roman, probably.
The SmackDown.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. 110%.
Maybe.
How? Okay. So I'm going to tell you what Tristan thinks here too, all right? We're getting back into it again. He thinks that Roman is going to hold all three.
No shot. No shot. I'm gonna tell you right now, if that happens, I cancel this show. I will never
cancel this
I
show.
will never talk wrestling again. This freaking kid. But I think that Seth Rollins should be the first draft pick to Friday Night SmackDown, and Roman should go to Raw. That's what I think.
One more time. You think
Rollins to SmackDown, Roman to Raw.
And can I show you this? Can you see this?
Show me anything. That champion. Who's that? That's Karrion Kross. Is that Bray Wyatt?
Yep.
And then Finn, Seth, Cody, LA Knight, and Randy Orton. Okay, no shot.
No shot, huh?
No shot.
Why couldn't you see that? I mean, I definitely think you can take Bray out for Austin, but
well, there's that. Bray hasn't been around.
Yeah.
2, I don't see Randy being thrown back into the championship picture. 3, I think they keep Cody on the same show as Roman so that they can build that back up for WrestleMania next year. But it is what it is. I think it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens after this next Monday once the draft is all done. But hey, we can talk about that next week, right?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we'll be coming back Sundays.
Sundays, yeah. So it'll probably be the following Sunday after SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown. It'll be that next Sunday.
So you and Sunday Kevin, after the draft.
Right. That you and Kevin will be on together.
Yeah.
I might be here, I might not.
No, you're still gonna have to be here.
Maybe.
We didn't go over anything.
I know.
You're gonna still have to be here.
I got you. And hey, it's what it is. I'll play.
I guess we'll see how the week
even if
goes.
even if I just sit in the background, we'll see.
But
I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was a lot of fun conversation. I didn't get to put a lot of comments up because you and I were just kind of bouncing back and forth. But thank you guys for tuning into the test run. Go follow, like, and subscribe to all the Undefeated Sports Network platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Get at us there. Hit the notification button so you guys know every time we go live. We got a lot of cool stuff happening. We got this show. I'm still doing Sport Court. Turtles Take is still out there. We're going to have a couple other things coming your way.
Yeah, we got some talk of a UFC show coming here that might be soon.
And we got we're going to have some actual just podcasts where we just record and then post later. But we're going to use the USM. Yeah, right. We're going to use the USM platform as a way to just kind of branch out and reach a bunch of people. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. I believe I am live Thursday for the draft, for the NFL draft. Me, Tarbill. I don't know if Turtle's going to be there, but we will be talking Chicago Bears, number 9 pick. Make sure you guys tune in live. This will be the 3rd year in a row we're doing a live draft breakdown. So we're going to be there from the first pick all the way to the 32nd pick. So it's going to be a long night of just bullshitting football. And I can't wait. I got invited to jump on another podcast also for the Irish Bears show that I love those guys over there. So you'll see me on there, I think Saturday. So I'll be all over the place. So, hey, catch me at Sport Court AC on Twitter, Facebook, and then the Undefeated Sports Network on all those same platforms as well. We will see you guys Thursday.
I'm undefeated.